Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet, and I'm here today with a great guest, which is what I want to say, but my guest is not here, so that's that's kind of the problem here right now. But hey, hello, everyone. How is everybody doing? Um, so yes, I am supposed to go live with an Iranian ex-Muslim woman that I have been following, and we have been kind of following each other and have been in touch for a while. Um, Decided to have her on because I saw that she was um, offering to speak here and there. However, we decided to go live today, and now I'm just sitting here by myself. I don't know, maybe I got trolled. That would be funny. That would be funny. That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious. Um, and yes, I'm also. You can already see it in the title and the thumbnail. IRCG Gotcha. Isn't it IRGC? IRGC, IRCG, IRGC. It's the IRGC. It's not funny. It's actually hilarious. However, yeah, I just messaged her and said, "Hey, whenever you're ready, just join. Whenever you're ready, just join. It's fine. I'm here. I'm waiting." Um, so far, no sign of life, which is all right. It's okay. I can just reschedule this and just chill here or something. I don't know. But I was so this is my guest that I'm not this. This is my guest that I'm supposed to talk to, a former Muslim who grew up in Iran under very Islamic circumstances and stuff like that. Has very strong opinions about conflicts and about human rights. I don't know why. Who cares about human rights? Um, yeah, but no, it didn't work out. Didn't work out. So maybe I can just turn this into a let's chill live stream. Or I don't know, maybe she will join at some point. Ayatollah Khamenei said, "Did helicopter strike again?" He probably did. He probably did. Helicopter. He probably struck again. He took her down. He wouldn't take her down. I wish he could take Khamenei down soon at some point. But anyway, let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on out there in the world. Dawood Al-Wudu is not available today. He's busy doing other things. But as soon as he gets back, as soon as he gets back to work, I'll go live with him again. I'll also be live tomorrow, most likely, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, with different people, making it possible. Gotta work. I haven't been very, very worky these last few days. These last few weeks, actually. I was kind of happy earlier because I thought finally, among all the death and destruction and political fights and oppositions and all of that, finally the world received some good news. The world finally received some good news. And that's what I thought when I saw that this woman here, Brianna Joy Gray, got fired from her job at The Hill. This brought me so much joy. She got fired, joyfully announced it that she got fired. I'm still very joyful about this. And why am I joyful about this? Why am I joyful about somebody named Brianna Joy losing their job? Well, because she's a horrible person. And we can just look at that in a second. Yeah, it's funny. I find it funny when I just give a short response. Like she said, "It finally happened. The Hill has fired me. There should be no doubt that the Hill has a clear pattern of suppressing speech, particularly when it's critical of the state of Israel. This is why they fired this other person. It was only a matter of time before they fired me." And I just left a comment saying, "Good, you deserve it." It's funny to get so many likes on something so dumb. However, I'm happy about this because she's a horrible person. And if, in case you haven't seen anything from her, you can see further what kind of a horrible person she is when you look at this here, for example. I mean, there are endless examples of why she's a horrible person. One of them is somewhere here. One of them is somewhere here, where she alleged that all Israelis are actually of European origin. Here, this comment says, "How about the million Jews that were forced out of Arab countries?" She responds with, "You spelled Europe wrong." It doesn't make any sense. Jewish populations were driven out of the Muslim world. They are known as this is known as the Exodus, the Jewish Exodus from the Arab world or Muslim world. And she doesn't acknowledge it and says you spelled Europe wrong, thereby implying either that all of them came from Europe or that she's just a complete idiot. Anyway, but here, this is actually why she's really a horrible person. Here she speaks to, I think this all.
Thank you.
Because no publication, no company would want such behavior to be associated with them. So she works for The Hill, has this show called The Rising, and she's speaking to the sister of a hostage held by Hamas, and who underwent a hostage who possibly has undergone sexual assault like so many others. And look how she reacts.
Thank you, me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right, thanks for joining. Stick around, more Rising coming up next.
Did you see that reaction? This is why she's a horrible person. I guess this was the final draw where The Hill thought, oh, okay, we can't have that here. What vile behavior. What sick, wicked behavior. I mean, it's one thing to doubt that things happened on October 7, which I think if you're a decent person, you will just not do that. If you're knowledgeable, you will not do that. If you actually deny that Hamas committed atrocities on October 7 and committed atrocities against hostages and probably still is doing that, if you deny that, then you are ignorant, stupid, vile, whatever it is. However, to speak to the sister of a hostage and give that reaction when she speaks of sexual assault victims, this is just vile, no matter where you stand.
Thank you, me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right, thanks for joining. Stick around, more Rising.
She cuts her off, goes, rolls her eyes, and that's it. It's quite here on plain display. I think this happened yesterday, and today she got fired immediately. Honestly, I think this publication, The Hill, is a terrible one, and they employ a bunch of really, really messed up people, and they shouldn't have kept her for so long to begin with. I mean, what are they waiting for? She has been horrible to no end on Twitter and on other social media, but good that they at least here thought, okay, this is crossing the limit. This is just psychopathic, evil behavior.
Thank you, me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right, thanks for joining. Stick around.
Imagine your sister, your siblings have been taken hostage or are held hostage and are mistreated, and you have so many reports of how they're being mistreated, and you talk to somebody and that person is like, oh, okay, yeah, shut up, yeah, okay. Man, so glad that she got fired, and I hope she never gets a job anywhere of significance again. Such people, we don't need them. Nobody needs such people. No matter where you politically stand, you don't need such people anywhere in society. This is horrible. Imagine you were surrounded with people like this. Anyway, Panzer of the Lake said, will she be using a whiteboard? I should introduce that practice for all women who go live here on this channel with me. They should from now on only write on whiteboards. This is what we have learned from the great teacher, Sheikh Ali Dawa. That's a good point. Mr. Bukhari said, well done for 500,000. So proud of you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We just reached 500,000 subscribers, which is very good. 500,000 subscribers is more than 400,000 subscribers, which is more than 300,000 subscribers, which tells me that it's a good thing. And I want to thank everyone for helping us get there and subscribing and following and spreading this. This brings me closer to finally putting the plan of creating a cult in motion. And, you know, I'm sure among those 500,000 people, I'm sure there will be people who want to join a closed compound somewhere, maybe in South America, I don't know, and then be part of a cult that I'm a leader of. But you just can't leave anymore once you have joined. That's the thing. But yeah, very, very nice to be at 500,000 subscribers. Very cool. Very, very nice. Thank you, everyone. Sir Dr. Whitemead said, here's my jizya, even though I'm broke because I moved. If you're broke because you moved, don't make jizya. You will be forgiven. This time you will not be executed. Just don't do it. Moo Moo Joe said, let's make it a light live. Let's all watch dumb videos. That's what you're watching right now. Let me do this into roasting myself. Goat Hub Music said, AP got stood up. We would never do that to you, AP. That's a good point. That's a good point. Everyone subscribe to Goat Hub. Ayatollah Khamenei said DEI Barbie got canned. Yes, she did. It's funny. I just saw. Oh yeah, this is what I saw. Some people are so obviously mad I can't be fired. This is what she tweeted in 2020. Well. Yeah. Well. This is interesting. Anyway, that's what happened. Kobe the Bald said, the best solution to the Israel-Palestine thing is to give the land to the Greeks. I have been suggesting that. There is, however, another solution, which is to establish a colony on Mars. This is always an option, and I don't know, maybe Elon Musk could do something about that. Moo Moo Joe said, I do not understand why they think calling for genocide of Jews, celebrating Iraq, discrimination against other, violence. Does that mean racism? Violence and lies are part of free speech. She is a vile. She is one of those people who have been supposedly progressive and who cry whenever somebody is offended on their side, but she says whatever she wants about anybody else. It's just disgusting. It is disgusting. And she has been, since October 7th, she has been one of the main people on Twitter, on X, to go around and just be terribly racist against Jewish people, against Israeli people, suggesting actually their ethnic cleansing, very ironically, while complaining about ethnic cleansing, suggesting that all the Israeli Jews are from somewhere else and that they should all leave. Here's the thing. I mean, think about this. The Israeli Jewish population is to about 50% of Mizrahi and Sephardi origin, which means that they are descendants of people who came from the Muslim world, mostly fled from the Muslim world. Then the other half consists of Ashkenazi Jews from Europe and many others from different places like Ethiopian Jews and all that. But contrary to popular belief, around 50% of Israeli Jews don't come from Europe, have no connection to Europe. They actually come from the Muslim world. If you suggest that Israeli Jews are colonizers somehow, and suggest that they should go back where they came from, that would mean that you are suggesting that the 50% of Israeli Jews should go to the Muslim world, to the Arab world again, to places where Jews are not welcome and where they would be genocided. But basically, saying that Israeli Jews are colonizers and they should go back where they came from means you would probably be pushing toward an actual genocide of millions of Jewish people. But hey, yeah, it's just popular right now to say, free Palestine, Zionism bad. That's what you do when you have brain damage. Ayatollah Khamenei said Tommy Robinson for Prime Minister of Great Britain. I'm not sure if he's up for the task. Maybe I can go and become Prime Minister over there. I'll do it, probably. Soon. The Jew who believes in Ezra. There we have it, man. This is so good because one of my main objections to the Quran is that it says that Jews believe Ezra is the son of Allah. But now that we finally have one who says that Ezra is someone who believes in Ezra, finally my biggest doubt about the Quran has been crushed. So I can now revert to Islam. Alhamdulillah. The Jew who believes in Ezra said she is just so brazenly and proudly ignorant. It's like knowledge about the subject doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was a little bit mean. I like Konstantin Kisin. He's he's a very rational, very reasonable guy. He recently hosted a debate where she was one of the debaters, and she was terrible at the debate. But also leaving, she was very rude. And then also afterwards attacked Constantine, after which Constantine then responded to her on Twitter and called her a DEI Barbie, which she then said is racism, racism, racism. And what he's saying by calling her a DEI Barbie is that she has no qualifications, no qualities, nothing of knowledge. She just has her job because she is black. And that is apparently perceived as racist by her. And I get the point. You could react to that and say, that's racism. I don't think it's really racism. Because to be very honest, loving black people here and there and everywhere, I think the very same thing about Candace Owens. I mean, we all know why Candace Owens is a popular commentator. Not because she says anything smart or knowledgeable, not because she adds anything to the conversation, but because of the color of her skin. Because she's a token black person who is being used because of her skin color. Pointing that out is not racism. Anyway, she was crushed by Constantine over that and started crying racism while attacking Jews day and night. D said, I was watching Tuesday TV the other day and they were glorifying MTG. Thoughts? I can't think about abbreviations when I'm on live stream because there's too much attention going on and I can't think clearly. What is MTG? What is MTG? What is MTG? Are you talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Magic the Gathering. I think you're talking about Marjorie. I don't know. Well, they can praise and glorify her, if that's what you mean. I think that she's I think she's a little bit of a lunatic. But if others want to do so, whatever. Lori Chetto said, feeling great Schadenfreude regarding Brianna Joy Gray dismissal happened on the same day that Bedouin IDF Sergeant Zeid Mazarib gave his life defending Israel. Oh, really? Really? IDF announces death of Sergeant Major Zeid Mazarib killed in Hamas pre-dawn attack. Oh. Was a tracker in Bedouin Patrol Unit in the Gaza Division Southern Brigade. He was from the town of Zarzir near Nazareth in northern Israel. His death raises the total number of soldiers killed in the Gaza operation to 290. Much respect and rest in peace. Falafel Sandwich Experience. Falafel Sandwich Experience says, could you please educate us on Mossad's role and contribution if possible? Also, please check on Dalia Ziada's interview. Congratulations, AP. Thank you so much. Not sure what you're congratulating me for. I guess it's probably the 500,000 subscribers, which is very based. But which interview are you talking about? I'm not sure which interview you're talking about. Don't make a super chat. Just tell me what you mean. Tag me by my name, by the channel name, and I'll see that. Falafel Sandwich Experience is obviously an insider joke once again, and a reference to Mossab Hassan Youssef. Stefan de Pelt, I should just change the title of this live stream. Yeah, I'll just change it to I think it's pretty sure at this point that she's not going to arrive. So let's just change the title of this live stream to something stupid. What should I call it? What should I call this live stream now? We're just going to hang out and talk about random things, and I'm going to read super chats and all that. Tell me what I should call it. I was thinking of joining a cult for the title, but it's too predictable. Stefan de Peltet said 500,000 subs already, but when are you forming Julumni? I'm actually in the process of doing that right now. I'm working on it. Alhamdu Shawarma Al Falafel Ibn Tahini Jr. says, as the live stream advances, so does my name. Wow. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. Call it, we are officially a cult. That's a good idea. Clementine, that's a good idea. I like that. That's a good idea. Let's see. OMG, falafels, Mossad gathering, boring, Destiny took. I know, it's so funny. Destiny always titles his live streams something like very boring live stream, chill, boring. And it's like 12,000 people watching. It's kind of unfair because people sit there thinking about what to title, what kind of a title to give, how to attract new people, how to attract attention, and give the impression accurately that this is a very special live stream. And he just sits there and calls it boring live stream. 10,000 live viewers. Oh, man. He's in Israel right now, together with his friend Loner Box, who talked to me before going to Israel because he was scared that he's not going to get into Israel. And he was asking me what to do because he's of Arab origin. It's funny. The young generation are morons. This is not a good title for a live stream. Super chats for Mossad. What a handsome shawarma. Not a good. Waiting for SE show. What is SE show? Transgender bathrooms. We're not talking about that. It's not a good title. Lend me your leather straps. Sounds reasonable. Call it the Falafel Experience. Oh, yeah. I'll call it the Falafel Experience. The Falafel Experience. Like the atheist experience, but better. Okay. I call it the Falafel Experience. Rebecca is with Destiny. Yeah, Rebecca apparently met him there very briefly, but that's all there is. I think they didn't really meet. Right? Rebecca, are you watching? Probably. Yes. Wow, falafel. Yeah. Now that I changed the title of this, so I just changed the title of this live stream. It is now called the Falafel Experience. So be ready. We'll probably get crazy live viewers in here in a minute, because after calling it Falafel Experience, this is going to blow up. It's going to be huge. Oh, Rebecca, what's up? Rebecca said, I'm hungry, but I'm sleepy too. Okay, well, good that you're watching. I must say, during our visit to Israel, it was a very precious, a very good visit. But one of the best things was actually meeting Rebecca and helping her, her helping us a lot. And then me coming up with the idea to just help her as a YouTube person, because I thought she's smart and has good stuff to say. And I'm proud of that.
We're proud of that.
Ayatollah Khamenei said, AP, I fully support the Trump Tommy Robinson World Tour 2024. Unbelievably based. That would be kind of based if I said that, but I didn't. Notice said, we all know the game where you take a shot when someone says from now on, we need a grape game. Anytime AP says Ali Dawa or someone who is doing Dawa lies, eat a grape, it will be a much healthier game. Huh. This is good. Or let's do it. Whenever David says, what does he say? What's his famous thing that he says all the time? Notice. Yeah, notice. Notice everybody. Notice everybody. Yeah. Let's change it into a grape game. Like whenever David says notice, somebody eats a grape. Not somebody gets graped. That just, I wanted to say it, but then I realized it sounds really bad. Hello, Eli. Very, very nice to see you. Thank you so much for your contribution, as always, for your fantastic super chats. Made a super chat of $200. Said, love you, AP. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Love you too. Thank you. Very, very much appreciated. Very helpful. And from now on, I will only read super chats that are also minimum $200, just so everyone knows. I'm reading super chats for the rest of this live stream, but only those that are more than $200. Let's see. Grape alarm. Yeah. Eat a grape when AP says problematic. No, you know what? Do I say that? Do I say that a lot? I know I say it, but I don't think I said it a lot, right? Maybe I do. Okay, how about this? Let's do some reflection here. I want to reflect on myself. What are some words that I say very often that are very memorable? Some things that I just say very often. I know, and off the top of my head, it's just, I say funny a lot. Yeah, I know. Everyone will say funny. I know. I say funny a lot. I say, you know what's funny? Or I say, that's funny. Or I say, funny thing is, I do that a lot because it's kind of a filler for me. Everything is funny. Like somebody falling over, funny. A joke, funny. I don't know. People dying, funny. People eating grapes, funny. Everything is funny. It's kind of funny. I don't know. Yeah, E4 Mafia said, you know what's funny? This is yeah, that's it. AP doesn't know if he says that a lot. That's problematic. Honestly, I until now, I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't really notice that I say problematic a lot. So that's quite interesting. It's kind of problematic. It's kind of funny, but problematic that I don't notice that. Based, yeah, this is my I kind of started saying based to make fun of the expression based, but then I just kept saying it because it's kind of fun to say in response to anything. Just based. What in the world? I say that a lot too. That's true. You're correct. You're right. Rosa Filova, you're right. I say what in the world? What in the world? I guess that's one of those things that I prefer to say live. I also say it in real life. What in the world? But I think it's one of those expressions that I modify for a live stream audience, because in real life I would be in real life sounds like a very stupid thing to say, but when I'm not live, I would usually express shock in a more vulgar way, but I decide to tone it down and to say something more acceptable when I'm live. So that's when I say, what in the world? I don't know is another one. Yeah, I say I don't know a lot. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. Heinz Doofens. Oh, yeah, that's what I say that a lot as well. Yeah. And all of that. What is funny anyway? Nothing is funny. Yeah, everybody funny. Wow, seriously? Based. I am a whiny donkey brain atheist. I wasn't aware that I'm saying that. AP's graping game. Terrible person. I say terrible person. I do. Palestinian experience. I don't say that. You burst out laughing. I do that a lot. A lot. Horrible stuff. I do say that as well. Very funny. Based. You know what's funny? Ridiculous. I say ridiculous a lot. That's true. That's true. Well, that's cool. This is fun. This is fun. Laughing at horrible things. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
That's true. This is another filler. This is another filler. Yeah. Good catch. I say that a lot. I guess it's because of so things like these. You know, when I say that's true, that is like that comes from having social anxiety in my early years and teenage years, and just feeling the need to say something when I don't know what to say, or feeling the need to say something to just cope with the anxiety of talking to people. I would just use fillers that have no meaning and no purpose at all, and finish a thought and say, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. There was a point where I got to a new class in Germany, and as I was getting used to being part of that community, there was this one time where this one guy turned around and say, everyone say something. Say something. And I'm like, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, hello. And that just became a joke for the rest of the year. That just became the thing where whenever I talk, all I need to say is hello or 1, 2, 3 or ABC, and everybody starts laughing. I don't know why. It was kind of a funny situation. Yeah. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Yeah, Schoblet said, I love Hitler speeches. Yeah, this is something that is said very often. Carfear, the Falafel Experience. Yes. Understandable, AP. Sometimes I do the same. I do it all the time. AP, why are you talking to your computer? Whoa. 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 What if nobody's actually listening and I'm just talking to my computer right now? What a stupid thought. Christopher Flera Mosca says, are you and your wife now Christians? I don't want to say anything about this. I want my wife to talk. I mean, she just said it publicly, I think. Yeah, so my wife actually publicly declared that she's a Christian. Yeah, she has publicly said that she has posted about it, and she also told me about it. She does now confirm that she believes, and she considers herself a Christian. So that is true. That is indeed true. She is now a Christian. And she will tell you that herself as well. I know because she posted about it on Twitter and so on. And I feel glad for her. I feel good for her when she, if she, finds peace with that. As for me, I am not at this moment, at this point. That's the reality. That's the truth. Mr. Bukhari says, why doesn't Italy claim Palestine because of Romans? It would be kind of funny if Italy just went into this irredentist policy and started reclaiming everything that was once part of Rome. That would be cool. AJ, what do you think about Nigel Farage for PM? I don't know much about him. I mean, I followed a little bit of his stuff years ago when he talked a lot about Muslims and immigration and Islam and things like that. And when he was leading the fight for Brexit and things like that, I don't know too much about him, honestly. I heard people say that he has sold out and become a regular conservative and things like that. I heard others say completely different things. I don't know enough about this to talk about it, so not sure what to say. Damien, congrats on 500,000. We're proud of that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We're proud of that.
We are. Brecht said, I'm literally playing MTG now. Also, where is your hijab, AP? Well, you're playing MTG. What is MTG? What is MTG in this sense? Brecht said again, hi, AP, talking to himself unscripted gets more donos than Daniel Kikic streamed to the entire Ummah last night. By the way, was hilarious. What did he talk about? Didn't he just start like this new show called the Hakika Show? Wow, I just went into the search for Daniel Kikic, and what came up was Daniel Kikic and the apostate prophet. This is not very good. It is actually good. It is good. I want to be personally responsible in boosting this guy, which I did. He told me and he thanked me in the past because I made him popular. He said that I helped him become popular, and I'm actually proud of that. Yeah.
We're proud of that.
Because I think that he's a very good representation of what Islam actually is. And I think he should go on mainstream media. He should go on Piers Morgan and explain to them what Islam is. I'm a total fan of that. In fact, I did recommend him to different people. Said, hey, if you want to talk to somebody who has real experience with Islam and who will really tell you what Islam is all about, invite Daniel Kikic. It'll be good. Yeah, not many people have listened, unfortunately. He needs to go everywhere and talk about children, women, slaves, and so on. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yesterday I sat down and did some really serious research and came to the conclusion that something is very strange about the stars on the American flag. So I started connecting them with my own personal bias and found that they form the Star of David, which just means that all along it was the Jews, just like me. Look at that. People are crazy right now. Oh yeah, here. Look at this. I was speaking of Candace Owens earlier. I wanted to briefly mention this because Candace Owens is never boring. She said, the older I get, the more absurd the concept of dinosaurs roamed the earth until a great big meteor hit becomes to me. Yes. This is Candace Owens posting about how as she gets older, she realizes that more and more things are fake. Soon she will get to the point where she will start arguing that space is not real. Space is fake. Then she will start arguing that the Earth cannot be a globe. Because if it's a globe, then how does water stay together? How does it not just float and fly around? If it is a globe, can you imagine? If it is a globe, then wouldn't ships, if they go to the other side of the Earth, be upside down or sideways, and everything would fall off the ship? I don't want to talk about things that I'm not extremely knowledgeable on, which is also why I would, to begin with, not make a post in which I give a very dumb reason as to why the dinosaur story is absolutely true or just completely false. I would probably, if I want to say something about this issue, sit down and inform myself more, and then say something about it, and then look at the responses from people who actually know. But I would probably never even do that, because I would just spend that time studying, looking at the evidence, listening to the experts, and so on. Maybe visiting a museum and understanding what's actually going on, instead of sitting here making such a dumb post. Candace Owens: the older I get, the more absurd the concept of dinosaurs roamed the Earth until a great big meteor hit becomes to me. I guess her understanding of the situation is that there were these big things named the dinosaurs, and they were the only ones there. And then one day this meteor came from the sky and hit the Earth, and they all suddenly died. That's not actually what happened. It's close to what happened, but that's not actually what happened. What happened is that an asteroid, which has also been very much established where it landed, off the shore of Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, over here. It crashed. This is the current knowledge. It crashed into the Earth, and the impact of it was so gigantic that at this stage, it didn't crash and thereby kill all the dinosaurs. It crashed, which then caused extremely abnormal conditions on the planet, including spreading darkness and something like a nuclear winter, which covered the entire sky and made the sunlight pretty much ineffective and changed life and conditions, vegetation, and everything on the planet for a very, 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 very long time, and made it basically uninhabitable for the dinosaurs, which did not immediately all go extinct because of this thing that fell on the Earth, but which slowly died out, and some of them actually did not die out, but adapted and changed. Very few, the very small ones. So that is the theory. The theory is not that this happened, whatever she says. And that's the point. If you're so ignorant about a topic, just maybe don't make a post about it. Maybe just ask somebody first. Try to understand what's happening. I know my explanation of it was a completely dumbed down oversimplification of what actually happened. But just to break it down, I don't want to sit here and actually talk lengthily about this thing. I would rather have somebody else do that. But this is just so stupid. I was kind of surprised, honestly, because I was expecting this to go into a different direction. I was expecting her to suggest that the Jews killed the dinosaurs, and that the dinosaurs were actually the real Palestinians who lived in the land. But the Zionist Jews came in and they killed all the dinosaurs and stole their land. I was expecting her to go into that direction. Maybe she's still on the way. Maybe she's still on the way of going there, of doing that. But somebody else, John Aziz, who is a British Palestinian, pro-Israel, pro-Palestine dude, inspired by this, made this poll. Asked who killed the dinosaurs: Zionists, Palestinians, the woke left, Meteor. Unfortunately, Meteor won with 34.8%. I voted for Zionists. Of course, everyone knows that the Zionists killed the dinosaurs. Unfortunately, most people did not vote for Zionists. Meteor won. This is obviously false. People didn't even... I came here and I say we all know who did it. Noticing, it's quite obvious. We all know who did this. We all know who killed the dinosaurs. Unfortunately, people don't want to realize because they are brainwashed by the Zionist agenda. Candace Owens is not there yet. She probably soon will start talking about how the Zionist Jews actually did it. So not there yet, but probably soon. Probably soon. Probably very, very soon. Offset Name It stood up by Brianna Joy. Yes. No. Ayatollah Khamenei, please call the stream Guy Fieri's Zibiba Town. No. No, terrible name. Monkey Mike gifted 1 membership. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Amber Black, react to woke TikTokers converting to Islam. It's just, TikTok is such a disgusting platform. I don't want to open it. Sometimes I feel like I want to look at it, but I also don't want to open it. But maybe I saved a few things here and there to react to. Let me see. La 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 la. Oh, I think I actually made some notes at some point. Maybe I'll do that for a different live stream with somebody else. But I over the last months I actually did collect some links for some TikTok videos that I thought I should maybe react to this because it's stupid. Maybe I'll do that sometime. And Moore said, what is this? I'm having a live stream titled The Falafel Experience, and there are 40 super chats, including, what the hell? John just made a $200 super chat. Okay, well, apparently it's okay if I just title it Falafel. I will from now on never ever spend another second thinking about what title I should choose for my live streams. I'll just call it something with falafel, shawarma. Next live stream will be the shawarma experience. Hi AP, I was wondering if you happen to know, is the story by Steven Crowder about Qatar putting $2 billion into American universities true? Great work, by the way. Without verifying specifically the numbers, I know for a fact that Qatar is involved in a lot of funding in American and Western universities in general, and setting up institutions, hiring influencers, and so on. I would have to look at the specific story, but it is definitely true that Qatar does engage in such propaganda work. If they spent more time on and more money on building their own stuff and creating proper societies, maybe things would get better. I don't know. Falafel Sandwich Experience said, hey AP, it is the Dalia Ziada's interview with JNS. Oh, let me see. Let's see. Maybe it's actually a good thing that my guest didn't arrive today, because I don't feel like I have a lot of energy. It's hard to speak for some weird reason. Dalia Ziada, JNS, let me see. I spoke the truth and they tried to kill me. Oh, this, you mean this here? I spoke the truth and they tried to kill me. From 6 months ago. Interesting. I'll have a look. I'll have a look and see what I can do. I met all of these people except Emily Schrader. Would have been nice to meet her as well. I'll have a look at that. I'll check it out. Jill's Beans says the falafel experience is better with Jill's Beans. This is true. Very, very much. Reincarnation and attainment said a God with foreknowledge and free will is impossible. It's A and not A. That's what you would argue. There are lots of ways to deal with this issue, and I will leave it to them to deal with it. These days, I'm very, very much not in the mood of discussing theology. Not at all. I sit down and hear people talk about theology, and I think, I don't care. I don't care right now. There are different things going on in the world right now. Viati Vistu, not related, but I discovered that Phoenician was entirely mutually intelligible with biblical Hebrew, and modern speakers can understand Phoenician. Is that how you say that? Phoenician. I hate English. Phoenician was entirely can understand Phoenician. In other words, Lebanon should speak Hebrew. LOL. That's a good point. Maybe they should adopt ancient Phoenician. White Lily, apostate of Allah, said, "How's life? How's the fam? Big dog. Good. Everything's all right. All right. Not too bad. I know this is who was it? Breakfast Twilight says in the German way. I know that's what my mind goes to when I see an O and an E side by side. I think because that's the German way. That's the German way. This is the right way in Germany. We say it like that. I should probably drink something. Good. Kerfear said, the only problem I see with AP becoming Christian is that people lack myth vision. We'll say that AP is a grifter. No, not him. Some other people would say something like that. He wouldn't. He wouldn't because he's not just some random online guy. We talked a lot in the past. We still talk occasionally on the phone, sometimes for a long time, for like an hour or so, just talking about random things. So he's not just some random online guy. He's a friend. And Derek from Myth Vision. So he wouldn't say that. He would actually understand. I do think that other people would say things like that. The issue with that is that I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who says what. I believe what I believe. I conclude what I conclude. I declare what I declare. I don't care who says what. Seriously, I mean, I said from the beginning, I like religions. I don't hate religions. I don't dislike them. I like Christianity. Over the last half year, I have come to really like Judaism. These are not things that I say for an audience's sake. If I concluded at some point with conviction that I think Christianity is a terrible religion, I would say it. Even though there are lots of Christians in the audience. And I love you guys. If I concluded that Judaism is terrible, I would say it. Although I know that this would probably offend lots of people. I'm aware of that. So I don't care what people say. I just genuinely and seriously have no problem with these religions. In fact, I like them. Of course, that's what a grifter would say. Sheikh Mike Winchley, peace be upon me, said, to those wondering where David Wood is, he's frantically binge reading Tolkien's works after I humiliated his ignorance, proving he's lesser than Mufti Winger. This makes sense. That makes complete sense. Oh, my guest texted me. Okay, yeah, too late. Rescheduled. It's rescheduling. Doing it some other time. For now, we're just going to talk about the falafel experience. Stop animal cruelty says you say ridiculous a lot. I do. It's ridiculous, man. Nuttis, what's up, Nuttis? Is this your second super chat? Anytime AP says myrrh during juice is wrong, eat a eat a grape. You will never go hungry again, because for some reason he has to say it a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy times. Crazy times. Jesse, AP says this is stupid. I do say that a lot. Ayatollah Khamenei, new Darman video. What is Darman video? When AP realizes he sounds like apostate Aladdin due to saying problematic, he immediately regretted it. Wait a minute. Does he say problematic too? Does he say that? I'm going to delete this channel. Jagoda Basic says Jagoda Basic. I'm just interpreting that as a Slavic. I don't know. Says, I bought an Israel flag, but people around me are saying it's not a good idea to display it. What do you think? Waiting for delivery. Show it proudly. Proudly. Just do it. Don't care. Do it. I walk around like this. Wait a minute. Here. I walk around like this. So, yeah. Be proud. And say,
we're proud of that.
Ari Wasserman, hey, what's up, Ari? Muslims every D-Day. The Wehrmacht ran out of ammo. Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute, today is D-Day, isn't it? Is that today? Yes, today is the Normandy landings day. I'm so out of touch with things right now. Kind of taking some personal time. Sheikh Mark Wingling said, why don't you buy a whiteboard to your wife? Are you suppressing her so we won't know she reverted to Islam and so Allah's curses on her shifted to you? Yes. Yes. GoTub Music said, use code Hong Kong. Shut up. It's funnier when David is here. It's funnier to say that when David is here because he just gets so visibly uncomfortable. Because he gets so uncomfortable. I just look at his face and keep saying it. Celeria Rosencroix said Surah 4:3, 28, 129. Encouragement to evil, mockery. All of the Quran is evil and mockery. John West, that is how Christianity spreads. First the lady, then the lad. You see, this is why Christianity is weak. This is why Christianity is weak. This is why Hitler didn't like Christianity. It has to be like Islam, where the man takes the religion and then beats it into all the others. Cam said, if I could choose Allah or grapes, I would choose the grapes. This is a good choice. I endorse it totally. Dor Daniel said, driving cars equals riding dinosaurs. Not really. I don't know if I want to get all nerdy right now about this comment, which just looks funny. I was almost going to get all nerdy and go into some people actually think fuel is all from dinosaurs, but it's not. Actually, almost none of it is from dinosaurs. But then I realized, wait a minute, this is a joke. I'm not supposed to get nerdy about this. Keep it together, man. Giovanni Garcia said, the older I get, the dumber I get. Candace. Actually, I wanted to quote tweet her post and say something like that. The older I get, the dumber I get, or something like that. So something like this. But then I didn't do it. But yeah, this is what I want to think. Celeria Rosencroix said, doesn't Candace know we have dinos on 7 continents? No, she probably thinks that the Jews put them there. The Jews put them all there to confuse you. Just a second. All right. Okay. Okay, successfully rescheduled. Go top music. The older I get, the more youth I lose. This is, woo. This is very, very interesting and insightful. Don't share this secret knowledge with everybody. People should find it out on their own. Seek Truth said, AP, have you watched Shake It Off's Why I Criticize Islam Yet? Informative yet still comedy gold. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I haven't watched it yet. I should. I'm kind of taking some time for myself this week. It's the third time I'm saying that now. Ari Wasserman says, maybe Candace is as real as dinosaurs. Yeah. They're actually called Zionosaurs. Zionosaurs. Ayatollah Khamenei, Mike Winger ruined my Limp Bizkit Christian cover band. He kept screaming, keep rolling during band practice and took an upper decker in my master bathroom. Huh, this is interesting. Didn't know he does that. Keep rolling. Dinosaurs are Palestinian. Zabibosaurus. Zinosaurus Rex. Yeah, indeed. In fact, in reality. Hi, AP and y'all. Thank you. You too. Hi. Hippie Crystal Lover. Do jihadis see 72 virgins when they have near-death experiences? A study needs to be made. No, they see 72 versions, actually. Nuttis said, wow, Candace Owens is onto something. I never heard Joe Biden talk about the time he met a dinosaur or rode one like in the Flintstones or other politicians. They are old enough to remember those times. Well, joke's on her. The president is literally a dinosaur. So that's that. Sankey, dinosaurs roamed the earth. Dinosaurs, Palestinian, roamed the earth, Israel, until an asteroid, the menorah, wiped them out. By denying it, Candace has apostatized from the Palestinian cause. This makes complete sense. This makes very, very much sense. Standing on the word, said my prayer and love to you, AP, and your wife. Prayer, hands, and heart. Appreciate it. Every single one of them. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Clementine said, rest in peace, dinosaurs. We will never forget you. This is true. This is very true. Very, very true. Yeah. Joe, I got hairy legs, Biden. Dino Joe. AP, will you ever debate Shaky Booty? This is the one debate that I'm kind of scared of, honestly. So I'm not sure if it's ever going to happen. Clementine, hi, AP, y'all. AP, thank you. Everything makes so much sense on here. Ayatollah Khamenei, Mr. Dinosaur. Mr. Dinosaur. Mr. Dinosaur. Mr. Dinosaur. How about you all die from an asteroid, or the Zionists come and kill you? I kind of want to try this new device that I got. I got a device because I normally don't read books because Andrew Tate said books are for losers and books are stupid and boring. So, but sometimes I do. So I got this device to kind of use as a second camera to plug in and shine some light on a book that I'm reading and put that on the screen as I'm reading it. Not sure if it's going to work because yesterday I plugged it in and it didn't work. It actually messed with my system totally. So I'm going to try it now once again and see if it works. What happened yesterday is that it turned off my camera in use when I did this, and it also made me stutter like it does right now. Look at that. Oh yeah. Why are you stuttering?
Why stuttering? Why stuttering?
Maybe if I turn off this screen here. No, still stutter. Am I stuttering on the stream right now? Am I stuttering right now? Am I stuttering? Yeah. Okay. Okay, this probably doesn't really work. Maybe I need to figure out a different way with this. That looks disgusting. When it stutters, it makes me nauseous. Yeah, okay, I'm not even going to try it. So yesterday, the same thing happened that I plugged in this other camera and chose it as extra camera, which then only disabled my normal camera that I'm using right now. Okay, now I disconnected that camera and I'm still stuttering. That's just bad. Let's see. What if I switch to my other webcam quickly and then switch back again? Guess who's back? Oh, now it works. That's good. Oh, wait a minute. What if I plug that in again? I'm just using everyone who's watching right now for this experiment. And I'm not sorry. La 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 la. What the hell? Where did I put my cable? Yeah. Okay. What if I do this again? But after plugging this in, I do that webcam switching again, which may fix the stuttering and might also make this work for some weird, completely weird reason. I don't know. Let's see. Now, with that plugged in, let me switch to my webcam and then to my actual camera. Whoa. Okay, and now let me turn on this extra camera and see if that works. Because if that works, that would be kind of cool. I could just show you what I'm looking at on my desk. Let me see. Present extra camera. It doesn't look like it's working. It started stuttering. What if now I switch again to a different camera? Okay, now this is going to crash. So I'm just going to unplug it. And Allah probably doesn't want me to use this device. I don't know. Got to figure this out. Maybe I need to use a different streaming software. No, I'm totally gone, right? Yep, now I'm gone. La 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 la. Well, that's funny. I'll be right back. Hey, here I am. Yeah, that clearly didn't work. So I need to figure that out. Need to figure that out. Artai Britema says, Candace is right, AP. Dinosaurs never existed. Have you heard about dragons? I'm not being facetious, by the way. It's a common discussion in some Catholic circles. I have heard of dragons. Dragons didn't exist, though. Dinosaurs did. So even if you're not being sarcastic, unfortunately, you're just wrong. You can literally participate in the discovery of dinosaur bones. And of course, you can conclude that they are actually dragons. But imagine dragons. That's a band name, right? Never listened to them. But no such thing as dinosaurs. It's dinosaurs. Alhamdu Shawarma Al Falafel Ibn Tahini Jr. said, "Your Mossad handler here. We require you to declare that you are considering Christianity to distract the Dawas from our secret weapon, Chris Hansen." Oh, well, you should have sent me a text about this. I wasn't aware of that. I'm looking for my shekel where you usually write all the next instructions, but I can't find it anywhere, so that explains it. Anyway, yeah. Reincarnation Entertainment said, if God knows he creates Adam, he is forced to. If he has free will, he is not forced. A and not A. He can't not create Adam because then he doesn't have foreknowledge. If he doesn't, this type of God is impossible. I would like to argue this with you as much as possible. However, as stated earlier, I won't. But others can feel free to. Maybe at some point I will return to having such discussions again. John said, AP, have you read the book Case for Christ, where a journalist researched Christianity after his wife... There's no H there. I don't know why I'm saying that. After his wife became a Christian, which resulted in him becoming a Christian. They also made it into a movie. I'm praying for you and your family, AP. I haven't read it. I know that there is a movie of it. I don't read books because Andrew Tate said books are for losers. I might have a look at it, though. Wasn't that a long time ago? I don't know. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at that. And also get together with David at some point to talk with him and discuss this whole issue with him as well. What I also want to do, and I thought about that recently, because one day I was thinking further about my belief in things, and I thought, wait a minute, didn't I at some point publish a video explaining why I don't believe in God? How about at this point I have as much integrity and honesty with myself as possible and go back and watch that video? But I thought, what if, much better, I go, I invite David to watch that video of mine together with me, to then react to it and get his comments in response to my video, and also to reflect on that video. So I will probably do similar things like that. At this point, I'm just agnostic about things. That's where I am. And the problem with me is, I don't know if this is a problem, is that I have to be really convinced that something is true in order to accept that it is true. I can't make myself. It just doesn't work. I go crazy if I do that. But thank you so much, John, for the super chat. A very big one as well. CO said, didn't the Jews bomb Atlantis? They did. They did. They did. The Jews also made that one island sink. Wait, what's it called again? There's a piece of land that lies somewhere between the British Isles and the northern part of Europe, that is now underwater, that was apparently at some point above water, and that was used to go from one side to the other, but it no longer exists because the water levels are higher today than they were at some point in the past. What is that place called again? What is that called again? Oh yeah, Doggerland. Is that what you call it? Is that what you call it? Yes, I guess it is. That is a map showing the hypothetical extent of Doggerland 10,000 BC. Really? It was that recent? Huh. It was last flooded by rising sea levels around 6,500 to 6,200 BC. The flooded land is now known as the Dogger Littoral. Dogger Bank, Doggerland. It's very interesting. It's very weird to find out things like these. One of the weird things is also that one of the quite recent changes. Oh, I don't even have my screen on here. Maybe I should have shared my screen before putting things on here and looking at them. La 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 la. So here, here it is. Doggerland. Doggerland and Dogger Bank. Hypothetical extent is here. It definitely was there. Just hypothesized as to what extent was above water and how the water levels were at that time. But yeah, so this was all connected. And there is still an elevation that is very slightly underwater, known as the Dogger Bank today, which is very funny. And I was saying one of the very recent changes, actually, to the map happened here in Denmark, where only in the last 500 years, sometime, a great flood left much of, I think, the western part of Denmark underwater, permanently, thereby changing the map. It's quite funny to see that maps can actually change with water changing. But yeah, that was also bombed by the Jews. Ari Wasserman said, call the show The Late Show. No, it's now the Falafel Experience. And we're proud of that. Daryl, no David Wood. What a relief. I know, man. So good. Finally, without David Wood. Amazing. Apostate Joe Smith said, I give my jizya. Don't blow it all on one wife. No, definitely not. I like Jewish stuff. Look at this. I recently got this thing. What's this called? I think this is called a yad. Is that what it is? Is that what this is called? I think so. This is the thing that is used to point at the Torah in readings, in ritual readings of the Torah, That's what they do. And I actually got that because I thought, since I got this tool, the second camera to point at a book that I'm reading, I could also get this pointer and just point at whatever I'm reading when I'm reading it and to highlight it on the screen. Thought it would be nice. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's one thing to get this for functional purposes, but now I kind of just find it very nice. Just want to hold it like this for no reason. It's cool. There's a little hand on it. It's very nice. I give my jizya. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $6.66. The Alaskan said, I am AP's ideal god. I like dogs, painting, strong speeches, funny mustaches, and one part of the population gone. Who am I? This is hard to guess. Hard to guess. I can't guess who this is. I don't know. Can't be Mohammed because he didn't like dogs. Celeria Rosencroix said it might be a Flintstones reference. Dinos, cars. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Sheikh Mike Wingeling said, hey, AP, I know you hate positive Muslims, but have some minute. Every 60 seconds in Palestine, a minute passes. Really? I need to see a study on that. If we get together, we can stop that. I need to see a study to see if that is actually true or not, and whether I want to really concern myself with that. It sounds serious. Dor Daniel said, Dino nuggets are made from modern dinos. They are. This is true. This is very much true. Mr. Bukhari said you should stream with Frank from Nigerian perspective. I should, possibly. I should. I recently watched a stream with him, but his internet connection seems very terrible and lots of stuttering. And as I was watching the stream, all I thought was,
Why stuttering?
But still, I would consider it, definitely. BTS Army says, AP, Ken has already said that she doesn't believe in the moon landing. Total clown. I know. She also doesn't believe in that. Honestly, it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst conspiracy theory. It's one of the more popular ones, which even some not too crazy people say it never happened. It is, however, stupid to say it never happened. Okay, it is stupid to say it never happened. There are, of course, aspects of a certain event like that which you can doubt, but the landing altogether definitely happened. Most definitely happened. You have to go to insane lengths to debunk that. Ayatollah Khamenei said, Siri, create an image of a Hasidic stegosaurus and create a new fake account YouTube for me. Fake YouTube account for me. Do it. Do it. Judaism is amazing, but I wouldn't suggest to someone who wasn't born Jewish to convert. It's very difficult, both converting and being Jewish. It is. It is. This reminds me of... let me see. Let me see. I wanted to reread that again. There was this part of in the Talmud where it talks about conversion. So my reading is that traditionally converts are very highly valued and respected in Judaism, contrary to what some lunatics on social media want people to believe nowadays. However, there is a strong tradition of discouraging conversion and saying, are you sure you want to convert? How about go away and come back and think about it and come back and let's talk about this again. And you come back and you say, yeah, I really want to convert. Okay, but really? Are you sure? How about go and come back again? And lots of tests to see if you actually understand what you're converting to, because it's not like converting to any other religion. It's not like, oh, you believe, okay, well, welcome. It is that in Judaism, and to my understanding, you can always feel free to correct me on this one, because of the Orthodox Jewish idea is that all Jews are responsible for each other and look out for each other, and the actions and the keeping of commandments are not just an individual matter, but are also a collective matter, which is why people should hope for or encourage others to also keep the commandments, the many commandments which Jews have and others don't have according to Judaism. So if somebody wants to convert to Judaism, it should be ensured that this person actually wants to convert and wants to observe the commandments and wants to be a good Jew. If the authorities cannot ensure that this person will actually understand and properly practice Judaism, then this is seen not as a positive, but rather as a negative, which is why conversion should be discouraged until there is until they are aware that this person is actually sincere. Plus, the other aspect is also that that nobody has to convert to Judaism, and converting to Judaism is actually considered or being Jewish is actually considered a burden, and being a non-Jew is easier. So the idea is, why would you convert to Judaism? Why would you do that to yourself? But yeah, I will read on that, and maybe talk about that at some other point, because it's a very interesting topic. Let's see. Also, you must learn Hebrew. It's easier for non-Jews to go to heaven in Judaism. I think there are differing views on that, aren't there? That's what I remember from my Judaism 101. 630 commandments versus 12 commandments. Yeah, so Jews have to keep over 600 commandments, all specific and listed. It's quite funny. And when I say funny, I never mean funny, except when I mean it. Tomorrow said, just be a good human, FFS. Yeah. I lately feel like, I had this experience when I was in Israel. Where these two, to my surprise, ultra-Orthodox Jewish men approached me, or approached us, and then specifically me, because I responded to them in English, and talked to me. And I mentioned this several times before, but it just doesn't get out of my head. But so what they were doing is they're looking for just other regular Jews to preach to them, to talk to them about keeping the commandments and things like that. these two old men, two ultra-Orthodox Jewish men near the Western Wall. So they approached me, spoke to me in Hebrew at first, and I then responded in English, said, I don't speak Hebrew. And one of them was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm from America, not Jewish." And he was like, "Oh, okay. So what are you doing here?" And just in a very interested and nice and kind way, asked me, talked a little bit to him, and I said that I'm here to report on things and to see everything for myself and to support Israel in this war as it is ongoing. And one of those old men started tearing up, and it was a little bit surreal to me. I don't know, because I don't know. It's like people tell you a lot about religious people, tell you a lot about religious Jewish people, and I don't have like direct experience until that point with religious Jewish people. But I'm talking to this random ultra-Orthodox Jew who has no interest in converting me or anything like that, who's just curious and is having a conversation. And I'm telling him that I'm just here to support and to learn more. And he starts tearing up and getting all emotional. And that was very touching. And then the other guy next to him came closer and looked at me, and so they had these flyers, and they hand out flyers to other Jews, to encourage them to do different things or to invite them to certain places and all that. And that other guy was totally confused in what to do. He was also kind of happy in response to what I said, where he's like, he was like this. He was like this. You're very good. You're very good. Very nice. Very good. Let me show you something. Then he walks back to where all the other flyers are. Then halfway, he just stops, turns around, and comes back at me. Doesn't actually give or show me anything. And meanwhile, the other initial guy who started tearing up just kept repeating and saying, "You are very good. You are a very good man. Thank you so much. You are a very good man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're a very good man." Repeatedly kept saying that. And the other guy then eventually doesn't show me anything. He comes back and he does this thing to me. And I still don't remember the exact wording or what exactly he did, because I was a little bit confused with all that, with all the emotion there. I was also exhausted. He came to me, he said, "You don't know, or you don't acknowledge, or you don't something God." Pretty sure he said Hashem for God. But he knows you, or he is with you, or something like that, he said to me. And I don't know what exactly he said. I don't remember the wording because I was a little bit overwhelmed. And I also don't want to misrepresent what he actually said and what is appropriate for him to say, because I just have my own vague recollection of things. But he said that, he said like, but he knows you, or something like that, or is with you. And he just pointed at my face and at my head and did something like this. And they said, "You are one of us. You are one of us. And you're a very good man. Thank you so much." And these guys just kept saying, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much," until I left. And I don't know, it was just it was an amazing experience. And I kind of wish I could go back to that moment to understand it further and analyze it further. But it was just a very, very touching and very nice moment. And since the day that it happened, and I think it was only our second or third day in Israel, since that happened, I have been thinking about that all the time. And I can't get it out of my head. There's something about that experience that I just keep thinking about, because it was very touching and very, very deeply emotional. And this whole embracing of me, just saying thank you so much, without giving me anything, without taking anything, just this appreciation and the emotion that they had there. I don't know, there's just something about this. And I don't know what to do about that. And I feel like, honestly, since that point, I have this I almost want to feel like I am actually part of the community, but I know that I'm not. But my experience over there made me just love Jewish people so much more. And that experience made me feel so connected and close. And since I went there and came back, I also feel like I have this odd and weird connection to the land. I mean, I remember walking down the street somewhere in a city near Tel Aviv. It's called Bat Yam. And not feeling weird at all. I felt like I'm just going to the store to get something. I felt like I lived here before. I lived here all my life. Like it's not a strange place. It's like it's home. That's how it felt. And I just don't understand it. And I don't know. That's why I'm also wearing this here. For solidarity and just I say for solidarity, but I think I primarily wear it because I feel so connected now. Very strange experiences, but I just appreciate it so much, and I just want to go back and see and experience more over there. But I also couldn't say that I would be able to convert under proper religious halachic Jewish circumstances and actually devote myself to observing Judaism and all of that. So I'm just kind of in my heart, I'm there. That's it. This is very important, Clementine. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. See, this all came just from this comment here. Appreciate it. Ida Rogozin said, I got nothing smart to say or funny. Still, good enough. Good enough. Comic Nut, I've been drinking since 2, but how come cults say don't drink, but Jesus turned water into booze? Meanwhile, Allah says no booze. Because Islam just went by whatever Muhammad thought should happen. In the beginning, the Muslims were actually drinking, but at some point Muhammad decided, no, we don't do that anymore. It's forbidden now. It's forbidden now. Stupid. Pants Schmans, Mrs. AP, hello. Still got you guys in my prayers. Mr. Prophet. Mr. Prophet. Mr. Prophet. When does your talk with heretics come out? I've been looking. Oh, yeah. When we talked, he said to me that he wants to publish it within like 3 weeks, but it might take up to 4 weeks because there's a lot to publish. But it's going to come out within these next few weeks sometime. And I honestly think it was one of the best discussions that I've had so far. So I can't wait to see that. That was pretty good. But I will definitely share the heck out of it once it's out, so you will know. Mr. Bukhari said maybe Mojab is angry because he can't see his own balls. Eta Dakimasu said, thanks for supporting your wife. That's awesome. Of course I will. I feel happy for her. Nothing but happy for her. If she feels happy and at peace, I feel happy and at peace as well. See, AP isn't Christian because he's scared of Kent Hovind. It's true. It's one of the things that actually keeps me back from becoming a Christian. No idea how. Doesn't make any sense, but yes. Shake Mike Wingling said, you disrespect dragons, may Smog's curse be upon you. Got nerd attacks. Ayatollah Khamenei, imagine you die and go to heaven and see a fat, very white guy with a green face and closed up aorta. And then God walks up behind you with a camera crew from MTV Spunked. What will you do then, AP? This is funny because it sounds so similar to dumb things that people say, that Muslims say when they threaten you with a good time on Judgment Day. Celeria Rosencroix said, Satan screwed us out of dragons. Now we just have all these danger noodles hanging around. This is mostly a joke, though. Good. I was hoping so. Carson Death, you should check out the Kuzari by Yehuda Halevi. I still need to look into that. In fact, you know what? When I'm done with the stream, I feel tired and only later get back to looking at things. So since I don't have a guest on screen and nothing else to show, how about I just take care of that right now? Right now. Yehuda Halevi in defense. I'll look into that right now. The Kuzari. The Kuzari. And just get that now. How about that? I'll get that right now. I will get that right now. Dialogue between the rabbi and so on. Originally published 1140. Oh, this is available on Safari. I can just read it there. No, I'll just order it physically. That's it. Okay, I got it. I got it, and I will look into it. That's what I do. By Rabbi Yehuda Halevi. I did it. I ordered it. I'll look into it. Cars in depth. How about that? Celery Rosenkranz said, that seems like a very cool collab reaction idea. Indeed, it does. Not sure what you mean. What was this in reference to? Very cool collab reaction idea. What was that in reference to? Oh, you mean the looking at my God video with David Wood. Okay, I remember. Yes, it does. It does. It does. It does. Hard Draw 13 said, AP, don't first study the Torah, then the other books. I know. I see your point. I see your point. I do read the... I should probably do it again in a proper order, the Torah from the beginning. Maybe sometime. I'll see. Dor Daniel said Pachycephalosaurus have a kippah. Jews killed the dinos. Oh, that's true. They have that on their head, right? They do have a... This is so stupid. They do have a kippah on their head. Wait a minute. I want to find a picture that is not Jurassic World. Oh, man. Yeah, here. Okay. Here. I guess it looks a little bit like a kippah. Yeah. Ayatollah Khamenei said, I hear David Wood's feud with Mike Winger stems from a Star Trek convention gone awry. They both came dressed as Sula and haven't spoken since, said. Actually, I think it's much simpler than that. It's because they had conflicting favorite characters on Star Trek, and it became so serious that they started fighting. And like all the other, it was at an apologetics meeting. All the other Christian apologists had to get between them to stop them from beating each other up. So that's how it started. Celere Rosenkranz said Doggerland Sadness, Rhine Thames used to be one. Yes, indeed. Goat Music, by the way, the title thumbnail combo is funny, LOL. I know, I just noticed that I changed the title into the Falafel Experience, but I never changed the thumbnail of this live stream. So the thumbnail is still just the guest that was supposed to arrive. That doesn't make any sense. It's her on here. Don't talk to me about Islamophobia. Titled The Falafel Experience. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway. Yes. Ayatollah Khamenei said Dogger Bank can be the new Palestine. It should be. It should be. They could elevate it and put Palestine on there. Ayatollah Khamenei, bro, has a Hasidic back scratcher. Yeah. My back scratcher is actually... Hey, where's my back scratcher? Where's my back scratcher? Wait a minute. Where's my back scratcher? No idea. Can't find my machete. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Cam said, in Japan, you can't pee sitting. You see, Japan is amazing. Well, that's nice. That's beast. What do you mean in Japan you can't pee sitting? So they have no sit sprinklers in Japan. What are the odds you and David would go on Tim Pool's Culture War to talk about Islam? I was actually invited on Tim Pool's Culture. Tim Pool's Culture War. No, it's not Tim Pool's Culture War. Tim Pool's Culture War. It's Tim Pool's Culture War. I was actually invited on Tim Pool's Culture War to debate with Jake Shields and also with some other guy, but they both haven't accepted it, so it never really happened. But I'm totally open to it. Totally. Cars in Depth said, the yad is nice because Hidur Mitzvah, making the performance of a commandment beautiful. Yad is used because you shouldn't touch Torah scroll. Torah scroll. I know, that's why. That's why. Because it was considered so sacred that you wouldn't touch the Torah. Which is why you would point at it like this. But Muslims suggest that even under those circumstances, the Jews and Christians randomly just corrupted their scripture for no reason to follow their desires. It's just so stupid, man. Islam is such an insult to everyone's intelligence and all that. Reincarnation Entertainment said, AP, if you and David would want to talk to me about atheism and empathy, I can pay. If not, still a big fan. Okay. Okay. Pay? Why would you? Who would you pay? Panchman's converting to Judaism is difficult. Try discount Judaism. Christians will welcome open arms. Pork, okay. D said, do you think you would feel the way you did in Israel in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt? Historical stuff does that. My brother-in-law presented me with a 1919 calendar he fought, and I felt something. I mean, I saw lots of historical things in my life. I have been to Rome 3 times, I think. And the one time that I went there, I just took, after I was done, it was all for work. But the one time I took most of the time just for myself to hang out there. And the one time I just went outside at night and walked through everything that is ancient in Rome and walked through all the historical stuff. And it felt quite amazing. But it's not quite the same. I understand what you mean. And I've also seen historical things in, I don't know, Greece and Turkey and Germany and all that, but it's not quite the same thing. There is something different about it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's something supernatural. It's just touching on a different level. I'm not sure how exactly to explain it at the moment. But I can also explain it. So one explanation is also that I grew up in a family where hating Jews was the norm, and I was taught to hate Jews, although I personally never really did. And once I found my way out of things, I started going very strongly and forcefully against the things that my parents and my family taught me. And maybe that led to me perceiving Judaism and Jewish culture and all that in a much positive way. And maybe I feel like I want to fight against that and thereby feel connected to Jewish people. I don't know. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure. Partial Act 17 Mirror, not minor, said, Twitter Grok is talking about how Israel bombed a school, killing 40 UN, and all I can think is South Park's Operation Get Behind the Darkies is what Hamas is doing to them, LOL. Yeah, we had, there were news immediately as soon as the operation was concluded of the IDF in Hebrew directly announcing that they just conducted an operation, a precision airstrike on a former UNRWA school from which military operations were carried out by Hamas, while minimizing as much as possible civilian casualties. They made the announcement as soon as possible. But of course, as soon as a school building, or what used to be a school building, is hit, Hamas will use that, because that is their whole strategy, for propaganda, and say, look, they just bombed a school and it was full of children. And people ran with that. And unfortunately, Twitter Grok is also quite unstable in how it collects information. But yeah, so what the news is that that Israel carried out a precision airstrike at a former school run by UNRWA and used by Hamas for military activities. And you have casualties there, including the targeted terrorists and possibly some civilian casualties. Israel's responsibility in such a strike is to minimize casualties and to avoid casualties as much as possible, not to absolutely make sure that no civilian dies. And they did it. Saying civilians also died is not an argument. It's not an argument. This is war. If you didn't want the war, you shouldn't have started it. Ayatollah Khamenei, AP's Jewish name Moshe Strappenberg. Jimmy the Jew from Philly became a member. Welcome to the club. Jimmy the Jew from Philly. Jimmy the Jew from Jimmy. Sheikh Mike Wingeling. As a Judaism expert, I know what he said. It's an ancient Jewish prayer for yes. Okay. I need to learn to read Hebrew. S. Hope said, us Jews claim you kick Weinstein out. I think he's out already without me. Ligamathigyon. I discussed two Christian friends from Judaism. Joining is linking yourself to our destiny. I dissuaded two Christian friends, not discussed. I dissuaded two Christian friends from Judaism. Joining is linking yourself to our destiny. We and our descendants have no choice but to fight to the death against the odds while slandered by illiterates. For all time, after 10:7, they understood. Yeah, that's what I get from what I learned from Chabad, from the Talmud, and so on. There is a very nice article that I recently read about the importance and elevated position of converts and all that, and how to treat them, but also to first discourage them, which is for their own good. It's a very different way of thinking. Very, very different way of thinking. Alina Hawk said, Muslims are getting ready to celebrate Eid al-Adha. When is that? Really? Why am I so out of touch with things right now? Oh, it's in a week. I'm so out of touch because I don't care about Muslim things right now anymore. And because I haven't talked to my parents since October 7, actually. Whatever, I'll leave it at that. AJ said, I wish you had a Discord with access to the soundboard. I wish too. I'm still thinking about developing the whole Discord community thing. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, inshallah. Reincarnation Entertainments and AP, you're a brave man for talking about Islam. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very, very much appreciate it. I would say that it's more kind of a personal dedication and craziness and rogueness than being brave. But I appreciate it. Ayatollah Khamenei said you should look up Fur Alexander Men, Eternal Questions. He was a Jewish Russian man who converted to Christianity and was killed by KGB. Huh. Interesting. We'll have a look. NBGS TV said, one of us, one of us. Alhamdulillah. Celeria Rosencroix said, your charity and honest expression of love and care for the children of Israel is to be respected. God blesses those who bless them, and they were certainly correct. God knows and loves even those who don't acknowledge him. I appreciate that. This is very, very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Celeria. Blitzy, love your work, AP, stay kosher. I can't. Palestinian. Brianna, oh, PS, not Palestinian. Brianna Joy Grace interview with the sister of a hostage was so disgusting. The bitchy eye roll at the end. I know. I just want to see this again to show what people are dealing with here. I saw it. It made me sick. The things that went through my head seeing this the first time. I mean, who in the world behaves like this?
Thank you. Me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right. Thanks for joining. Stick around. More Rising coming up next.
I'm so glad that she lost her job. I'm so glad she got fired, because nobody should be should tolerate such behavior, no matter who you are dealing with. How sick can you be?
You're sick. You are sick.
Just watch it again.
Thank you. Me too. And I really hope that you specifically will believe women when they say that they got hurt.
All right. Thanks for joining. Stick around. More Rising coming up next.
This is just such callous, such psychopathic behavior. And to think that she actually has this platform and has been there for so long, despite all the horrible things that she has said to this day. And then this behavior, this is just, no matter where you stand, speaking to the sister of a hostage who's talking about the suffering of the hostages and people on that day and giving this response. I mean, this is beyond the whole partisanship and beyond where you stand. You just don't do this. What the hell, man?
And when they say that they got hurt.
All right. Thanks for joining.
What a horrible, absolutely sick, vile, disgusting piece of shit of a person. And I can have all kinds of disagreements with the pro-Palestine side here, right? But if somebody comes and talks to me and their family members, their siblings have gone through certain things, and they talk to me about different atrocities, whether I actually am on their page, on the same page with them or not, whether I acknowledge things or not, giving such a reaction to somebody making a claim who says that their siblings, their family members have gone through atrocities, to give this reaction and say, whatever, okay, yeah. And to just, cut them off like this, this is just horrible, evil behavior. I don't care where you are on the political discussion here. So glad that she's been fired. So happy that she's been fired. She announced earlier that she has been fired, and that's very, very good. Oh, and look, now she's, of course, retweeting. Are you freaking kidding me? She actually retweeted this. Israel hands of fake. She actually retweeted a neo-Nazi news source through Jake Shields, who is by now openly pro-Hitler, who denies or justifies the Holocaust, and so on. Yeah, this is Brianna Joy, who is supposedly a progressive. She now actually reposts Jake Shields, who reposts a neo-Nazi source. Wow, man. This is where we are. This is where things went. I mean, I know that she was a horrible person long before October 7. But after October 7, things really got really bad, and some people have truly exposed what kind of messed up people they are. And you see it right here on clear display. Is she just incompetent and she doesn't know what she's reposting here? Or is she just okay with going full neo-Nazi now? Wow, man. Brianna Joy Gray retweets Jake Shields, who posts AF Post, which is a neo-Nazi source. Man, sick people. Absolutely sick people.
You're sick. You are sick.
Get what you deserve. Hope she never finds a job anywhere else with influence. Ayatollah Khamenei said Turkish Run DMC looking. It's not Turkish, man. This is based on Run DMC, but it's not Turkish. Looking sad. James Wolfe, have you seen Omar the Tourist in Star Trek, the 1973 counterfeit Turkish Star Trek film? I know the Turks love to adapt Hollywood films at this time. I heard of it quite often. I also saw covers of it, but I never really saw it. Maybe I should look at that sometime. It sounds funny. Sheikh Mike Wingeling said Jews want you to read the Torah first because of the hidden knowledge of Talmudic tunnel construction. Of Talmudic tunnel construction is in 2 Kings and Job. Don't fall for their tricks. I still need to clip those stupid things that Daniel Kikachu actually said, where he argued that the tunnels in New York are Talmudic tunnels for child trafficking or something like that. It's just so ridiculously stupid. Dor Daniel said AP looking like he's gonna spew some Jewish rhymes. Yeah, soon. Ayatollah Khamenei, 100% proof that God is a man is that he created dinosaurs. Unbelievably based and red-pilled. This is true, actually. Yeah. I would accept this as proof. Sankey, stop culturally appropriating atheist culture. What would they feel if they saw you wearing their national hat? Have some consideration. I know I put this on, but then I felt that atheists might be offended and complain about cultural appropriation. So I took it off. Ayatollah Khamenei said, AP converting to Judaism in Jared Kushner's synagogue and starting his Turkish-Jewish MAGA arc as Minister of Immigration when? Possibly the next elections. The upcoming elections, I'm thinking of doing that. Yeah. Inshallah, we'll do so. Well. Here we are again. I think I'm just going to leave at this point. I was thinking of having a 2-hour live stream with a guest where we would talk for an hour or an hour and a half, and then go into super chats and all that. But I spent the whole live stream just chatting to you guys, to everyone here, to all you cult members, and I'm actually very happy about that. Actually very, very happy about that.
We're proud of that.
So that's that. Yeah, I rescheduled the conversation with her. She got back to me, said that there was a little bit of a communication issue. So I will reschedule a live stream with her. I will probably be live tomorrow again, on Saturday again, on Sunday again. And I think on Tuesday I'm supposed to be live on Rebecca's channel for the first time ever. We'll do that. It was a fun time, AP. I agree. Chill stream once a week. That would be nice. I should start playing games live. Yay, Rebecca. AP has best live streams. Appreciate it. You see how we have 10,000 people watching now. You see, Christian stream is superior. Call to Akbar. Praying for your parents, AP. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. Ooh, brother. Ooh. All right. You're a gamer. Can Kind of. Depends on how you define gamer. I usually don't like multiplayer games. For my whole life, for some reason, I never liked to play multiplayer games. If there is an option to play single player, I just want to be on my own. But yeah, I played a lot of games in my life and still do. But I've always had a very nerdy choice of games. Like a bunch of grand strategy games. So that's that. All right, I'll be back. Thanks everyone for watching. This was fun. Stay away from dinosaurs. And I'll be back tomorrow, most likely. Yes. And AP hates other humans, confirmed. This is true, you see. Play Elden Ring. See, this is the thing. I would be interested in playing something like that, but I'm also not that much interested because that's kind of the mainstream gaming scene. And I'm more interested in just playing something like Europa Universalis and things like that. I don't know. Change the channel name to Apostate Gaming. I thought about that as well. Might do that. We'll do that. CNC Red Alert. I grew up with that stuff. Okay. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a fantastic day. AP, say happy birthday to my cat. Happy birthday to your cat. Happy birthday to E4 Mafia's cat. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Thanks everyone. And as always, stay away from something. No, not that. Here.
Stay away from Islam.